It appears that Wendy Williams is determined to get control over her money, which was frozen by Wells Fargo because she was seen working on a new program. Apparently, this comeback is nothing more than her attempt to prove to the bank that she is in sound mind and can manage her assets without a guardian. However, it may also mean that she is able to work again, and her ex-husband, Kevin Hunter, may take advantage of this situation and demand his alimony back. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Celeb Live channel. I keep my eyes on the most discussed events in show business and always bring you the hottest updates. So Wendy Williams seems to be rushing back to work. And if I first thought it was her desire to expose her ex-husband Kevin in a podcast, apparently the former TV host is trying to prove her independence to Wells Fargo, which had frozen her assets earlier last year. But does her coming back to work mean that Kevin Hunter can also demand the alimony be resumed? Stay with me until the end of this video and you'll be the first to find out. So, we were all very happy to witness Wendy Williams' comeback last week. After several years out of the spotlight, the former TV host appeared in front of a fancy restaurant in New York City with her entire production crew. The witnesses mentioned that they were obviously filming some mystery project. Well, I personally thought that Wendy was celebrating her victory over Kevin Hunter, but it seems like something else is going on. It appears that Mrs. Williams is in the middle of another battle for money, this time with her bank. As you may remember, Wells Fargo froze her assets and appointed a financial guardian for her because the bank's representatives were confident that Wendy had been exploited. This is, by the way, why the alimony for Kevin stopped coming and this whole story with lawsuits began. While we all focused on Wendy's battle against her ex, we totally forgot that she was not only dealing with Kevin Hunter's alimony case, but with her own financial hardships as well. It seems like Wendy has no time for rest because now she is adamant to prove to her bank that she is capable of managing her millions without any help. And the only way to do it is to show that she is in her sane mind and capable of making independent decisions. Probably, this is why she went to that restaurant, chatted with the paparazzi, and even posed for cameras. Wendy repeatedly stated that she needed this money and she wanted to have control over her hard-earned millions again. But even knowing how much Wendy wants to gain access to her funds, it's sad to see her risking her own well-being and fragile health. She may still not be ready for this kind of outing, considering how poorly she walked and clinging to her bodyguard's arm. However, coming back to normal life is the best way to show Wells Fargo that she is stable and sane. Wendy was trying to demonstrate that she is healed and nothing clouds her mind anymore. As the source who spoke to Page 6 reported, basically it was a regular night. Then all of a sudden the Wendy Williams train arrived. She had a huge crew that basically turned Fresco by Scotto into a movie set, approximately 30 people in the crew. According to eyewitnesses, it looked very much like a reality show. But no further comments about this mystery project followed, which makes me think, what was the real reason for making such an outing and not sharing any other detail? And what about Wendy's promised podcast? It was already delayed because of Kevin's lawsuits, and now there's more enigma in this story. Considering this is the very first time that we've seen Wendy actually working on something since rehab, I'd be shocked to find out that she is doing a reality show. But knowing that she still has no access to her funds and her financial guardian decides where her money goes, this may be a part of Wendy's plan to get control over her assets. Fans are worried that this guardianship is very strict, and Wendy also does this because she needs some cash she can freely use. One person commented, "I feel like she needs the money. If her conservatorship is so stiff that the bank is refusing to pay her alimony payments, I imagine things must be tight financially." And another fan advised Wendy to be cautious when making money. As long as she doesn't make enough money to pay that leech Kelvin Hunter alimony, I'm glad she's doing well. So yeah, about that alimony. Wells Fargo is partially the reason why Kevin Hunter keeps dragging Wendy to court because his alimony checks stopped coming in as soon as Wendy was placed under guardianship. And no matter how much Kevin tried to extort more cash by claiming that he had to have hip surgery, he had a lifestyle to maintain and couldn't pay his mortgage, he failed. So Kevin is now watching Wendy closely because if she gets access to her funds, he might get another shot at leeching off her. Well, I still kind of doubt that his alimony will be reinstated because Kevin signed a divorce agreement where it was stated that if Wendy doesn't work on TV and get the same amount of money, he will be basically left with nothing. But who knows what this man and his new legal team are plotting? Hunter's demands were always atrocious, and he may see Wendy's comeback as an opportunity to squeeze a bit more cash that he so desperately needs. And I hope Wendy has all that in mind because at the moment, her main focus is getting back to work. But despite looking happy and excited to come back and spill more tea, we should keep in mind that Wendy is still on the road to recovery. Her health and mental state were greatly compromised by Kevin's infidelity. And if this man keeps aggravating her issues, she may never get access to her money again. Even though Wendy is a fighter, frankly speaking, she doesn't look like all her troubles are in the past. There's still something in the way she interacted with the reporter that makes me believe that her comeback is a bit rushed. And even though I'd love to hear more from Wendy and even see her reality show, I believe she should pay more attention to her health. But maybe her crew was just filming one episode to convince Wells Fargo to lift that guardianship and let Wendy enjoy her millions. And after that, Wendy may come back to proper treatment and maybe launch that podcast she was so excited about. As long as she doesn't give her ex-husband, Kevin, another reason to dig into her pockets, I'd be happy to see Wendy's upcoming project. But considering this man's life is literally dependent on Wendy's donations, he may resume his scavenging campaign against her, especially with her coming back to work on new projects. While some people are thrilled to hear from Wendy, others think that she should take it slow. One fan wrote, "If I was Wendy, I would take at least a 2-year break from the public eye, go on a few vacations before I jump into a new project." And another fan added, "I want Wendy healthy both mentally and physically. I don't care if she never appears on TV again as long as she's healthy and is surrounded by people who truly care for well-being." Well, apparently, there is only one vulture in this story who doesn't allow Wendy to breathe freely, and his name is Kevin Hunter. My only hope is that he finds some shame inside himself and finally leaves her alone, because this world needs Wendy Williams in her full glory. And for that, she needs rest and time. And what do you reckon? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'm eager to know what you're thinking. And as always, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'll be back very soon with the updates on this story.